Hello Superset maniacs and welcome back to my channel. Derek Lunsford is your new 2023 Mr. Olympia champion and many people are excited as it's believed this is the beginning of a new great reign in bodybuilding. So we're going to compare Derek Lunsford's physique in his first win to Phil Heath's first Olympia winning physique from 2011 in a perfectly synchronized side-by-side footage comparison for all 8 mandatory poses. Of course, the video quality, camera angles and stage lighting all differ, so take everything with a grain of salt. Front double biceps. Phil Heath was the first Mr. Olympia champion who was more streamlined after the Mr. Olympia reigns of Ronnie Coleman and Jay Cutler, the ultimate mass monster Mr. Olympias. We can see how Phil was a transition between the mass monsters and the winning physiques of today, which look way more classic. All top 3 hit the vacuum in this pose this year at the Mr. Olympia. Things have really changed indeed. Now this pose can be judged from different perspectives. For some, Derek's proportions are so special that he pretty much beats everyone in this pose. I remember Coach Greg saying 2022 Derek beats 2003 Ronnie Coleman in this pose. Personally, I don't agree with that. Even though I can appreciate a wow taper like Derek's, I always like to see great bicep development in this pose as well, where Derek is lacking. Just look at these two. Maybe shape-wise, they have similar guns and biceps, but Phil has the muscle separation, the details, the definition, and vascularity through the arms, while Derek's look off-season indeed. In 2011, Phil had a very pleasing midsection and a more than decent taper. Phil also wins downstairs, so see how this pose could really go either way. I'm going to put it like this. If this was today, I'm sure the judges would award Derek this pose, but in my opinion, 2011 Phil Heath was more complete from top to bottom than Derek in this pose, so I would give Phil the slightest advantage here. Front lat spread is next, and if you think Phil had any really weak poses in his prime, you probably forgot how good Phil actually was in 2011. He's got that narrow structure indeed, but look at him. His lats are top notch, his midsection is detailed, a rare feat in this pose. He's got great symmetry and he's conditioned. If only he was a little bit wider, this would have been one of the best front lats of all time. On the other hand, Derek has his own qualities. He's wider than Phil, which counts a lot in this pose. He has a better taper, even though it may be a bit difficult from this angle to see, and his lats are powerful too. He also improved his chest from last year, which makes this pose way more complete for him. Again, this pose could really go either way, but this time I'm going to give the slightest advantage to Derek, just like I gave Phil the advantage in the front double. Side chest pose, and now we can really notice that Derek's conditioning is not in any way inferior to Phil's by his side leg striations. It's just that in certain muscle groups he really lacks muscle definition because of genetics. Phil had always had an impressive side leg, but in this department Derek has him beat. However, in the upper body, Phil simply dominates Derek too much from any possible perspective. Phil is bigger and fuller, Phil is drier, Phil is more defined, Phil has the better chest, arms and shoulders. Phil has everything. So this is Phil Heath pose overall, in my opinion, no question asked. Now, the pose you've been waiting for, the back double biceps. I never thought I'd see the day someone could challenge Prime Phil in this pose like Derek does here. Let's see what we've got. Their backs are complete, from traps to lat insertions to symmetry. It can't get better than this. Phil has the muscle bellies, Derek has the width. As far as the backs can go, it really can go either way. Downstairs, Derek has the superior glutes. Those striations are simply something else that gives a great touch in his back poses. Phil's glutes are top class as well, but he wins the hamstrings and the calves decisively here. Phil also dominates the upper body in the shoulders and arms department. How should I put this? If we're talking about the backs alone, there's a strong argument for Derek to have the superior back, but it's close. However, for the pose overall, my point goes to Phil Heath because of his overall completeness. They have similar Christmas trees as well, and now the back lat spread pose. Neither of them looks as good in this pose as in the other back pose, but still their back lats are world class too. Phil's disadvantage is again his width, and width is crucial in the lat spread poses. Derek has more width but doesn't have the muscle density and thickness that Phil has. Again, we're splitting hairs here, but just like I gave Phil the slight advantage in the back double, I'm going to give Derek again the point here. The arms are not a factor anymore, which is in his advantage as well. However, if this was Phil Heath later in his career, I think he would take this pose. Side triceps and mirroring the previous side pose, the side chest, the only thing keeping Derek from losing this pose in a dominant fashion is his superior side leg, but yet again, Phil's upper body is just too much. Aside from looking drier and thicker at the same time, Phil also has the better triceps, the more defined midsection, and the better upper body overall. This is another easy win, I would say, for Phil Heath. Abs and thighs pose, and if this was a conversation without looking at the footage or any pictures between me and you, the idea that Phil would beat Derek in the abs and thighs pose would be preposterous. However, many forget how actually complete Phil looked in his heyday. He's got the more defined midsection here and the superior thighs, which should seal the deal for him in this pose. Now Derek has the superior taper and he hits the vacuum also, but this being the abs pose and Phil dominating the abs and thighs, also conditioning and overall polish, I cannot deny him this pose. The last pose is the most muscular, just like in the side chest pose that nowadays really looks like a side most muscular. Phil simply trashes Derek Lunsford. Aside from the overall width for Derek, which is not even that obvious because of Phil's humongous shoulders, Phil Heath wins every possible metric in this pose right here yet again, and it's not even close. From overall muscle to muscle quality, to conditioning, to superior shoulders, arms and chest, plus the lower body, Phil is just in a whole another level altogether. In conclusion, what happened here? Derek won two poses, the lat spreads against Phil, and in his defense, he was crazy close in the front and back double biceps as well, which could have gone to him. We have two tight wins for Derek in the lat spreads and two tight losses for him in the front and back double biceps. However, in the rest of the four remaining poses, it was total domination from Phil Heath. He simply destroyed Derek in the side poses and the most muscular, and I even saw Phil dominating in the abs and thighs with his 2011 version. So yes, Derek is good, but this is why Phil is one of the greats. In my humble opinion, there is no comparison between Phil and Derek at their first Mr. Olympia wins. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for more videos like this. See you next time, guys.